Hey, greetings! Welcome back to Sean's Irish Whiskey Shelf, coming at you from the heart of the United States out here in the Midwest. And I'm really sorry. I realized that life got in the way a little bit, and it's been several weeks since we've had a pour of whiskey together. But sometimes that happens, and you just lose track of time. And all I can do is apologize to all of you, my viewers, and hope that you can forgive me. Don't have a whole lot of new stuff either. Courtesy of Uncle Sam and tax season, we kind of took it a little harder than we expected. So Mrs. Sean's Irish Whiskey Shelf said, yeah, you probably need to cut back on how many new bottles you get. So in order to keep the marital harmony, I have cut back a little bit. So what I have for you this evening is a bottle that I found when I was traveling up through Minnesota. Now, again, trying not to spend too much, I saw this on the shelf at a local Coburn's. Apparently Coburn's is a big name up in Minnesota. Stopped to get some gas, and there was a liquor store there, and I told my wife that I was just going to duck in and see if there might happen to be anything on the shelf that I can't find here at home. Well, there sure was. That Coburn's where I stopped had all kinds of Irish whiskey. Excellent selection. But they had one bottle in particular that caught my attention because it was an everyday sipper. It was priced right around 30 bucks. I think it might have been a little less than that, maybe 25 to 30 if I recall. It's been several weeks since I purchased it. So picked it up, put it in the car, and came on home, and then I sat and looked at it. It's been probably 2 or 3 weeks since I purchased it, and I don't typically I don't typically try things unless I'm doing it with you folks. So today we're going to give it a shot. And as it just so happens, that's what they talk about, is giving it a shot. So we're talking about Red Locks. Now, Red Locks is a name that has been around since the 1800s, but you'll see right on the top here, in the spirit of giving it a shot. You had to kind of peel that away so you could see it. Giving it a shot. And their website is all about giving it a shot. That's kind of their tagline, is giving it a shot. So while this has been around since the 1800s, the name, two people who are very big in the Irish whiskey world collaborated to bring this back. First, you're talking Kieran Folliard. That name, if you don't recall, Kieran is a very well-known, very well-respected restaurateur from Minnesota, and he is the passion behind Two Gingers, which we've had on the show already. And Two Gingers is not a bad everyday sipper, and it's very reasonably priced, in the low 20s normally. Sometimes if you find it on sale, you can find it in the upper teens. So it's not going to be a Bushmills. It's not going to be a Tullamore. But if you want a decent whiskey at a very reasonable price, you're going to want to try Two Gingers. It's really not that bad. So that's one name that is behind Red Locks. The other name is Noel Sweeney. Now, Noel Sweeney has been practicing his craft in Ireland for over 27 years. And I mean, he is Mr. Irish Whiskey. He was previously employed at the Cooley distilleries. He was previously employed at Powers Court. So he's got a lot of knowledge behind him. And he just continues to work, honing his craft. So Noel Sweeney and Kieran Folliard decided to get together and make Red Locks. And this really is a kind of unique Irish whiskey. So normally I like to tell you that a blend like this is, it might be single grain and single malt, or maybe single pot still and single malt. And a lot of times you can't even tell what balance is there between those different types of whiskey. Not so for Red Locks. You can go to Red Locks' website and see exactly what they have done to make this taste the way it does. So for starters, it is 80% corn, which they distill in column stills, so that would be your coffee column stills, and 20% malted barley, which they distill in copper pot stills. Then, once they have that blend the way they want it, this is matured and finished in 4 different barrels. The first stop, every bottle is aged at least 4 years. So let's get that right. The first stop is in ex-bourbon barrels. So it's going to spend 75% of its aging in ex-bourbon barrels. Kind of get that char. You get that nice bourbony flavor to it. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to move it to sherry casks or sherry butts, where it will spend about 8% of its time in a sherry butt. After that, it's going to make a quick trip over to rye casks. Only 2% of the time, its finishing time, is it going to spend in its rye casks. And then it's going to finish up for about 15% of its aging time in something that's really unique in the Irish whiskey world, and that is virgin oak casks. There's not too many Irish whiskeys out there that employ virgin oak casks as part of the maturing process. So they believe that this gives Red Locks a very smooth, a very mellow Irish whiskey. And they want you to give it a shot. Try it out. See what you think. Which is exactly what we're going to do right now. So the first thing I notice is it is a really nice deep golden color. Definitely not a light yellow or anything else that we've seen some of the other whiskeys that have a really light color to it. Not with Red Locks. That is really a beautiful golden color. So let's give it a shot and see how it likes, or how we like it. Not how it likes, what the heck. We're going to see how we like it. I like the nose. Very nice nose. That is really unique. I don't even, for my blue collar palate, I don't even know how to pick out the different flavors from all of that different maturing. What I can tell you is I like it. And I wish I could find this on the shelf down here at my liquor stores. It's too bad that Minnesota is a pretty fair drive for me, but because I'd probably go buy several other bottles. This is really good. Let's see, a drop of Red Locks might awaken your creative roots and reveal an idea that's been buried in your minds. Well, yeah, most likely. It is something for an everyday sipper. This is something quite unlike anything else we've tasted together. I really like that. It doesn't have an off-putting aftertaste. It does have a little aftertaste, but it's not harsh. It's not disagreeable, or like I said, it's not off-putting. Yeah, it really is different. It really is nothing like my normal everyday Tullamore Dew. It's just not. It's a totally different flavor profile, and one that I can only say you should experience it. See what you think. It is, I believe it's 80 proof. Yep, it's 80 proof, just like most things in the Irish whiskey world. So 80 proof. So it's not going to have a whole lot of ethanol burn. Although being 80 proof doesn't really mean anything. Again, I can pick up the Drunken Sailor back there. That's only 80 proof, and you'll know you're drinking some whiskey with that. It'll burn all the way down. You know, I would find myself filling up my glass again just so I could keep trying it. This is really, I'm glad I gave it a shot. Is what they want you to do. Give it a shot. Wow. I think what I'm going to say is, if you are a really traditional Irish whiskey fan, someone who maybe says, well, if it's not Redbreast, or if it's not Middleton Very Rare, or if it's not maybe, I don't know, one of the Spots, something like that. I think if you're that kind of a traditionalist, this might not be for you, because it is so different. But if you're like me, and you like trying different things, seeing how these two masterminds can take two different types of whiskey, your corn and your malted barley, combine them, and then finish them for at least 4 years in 4 different casks or barrels or butts. I would drink this every day. I would probably still occasionally have my Tullamore Dew. I would probably occasionally still have my Bushmills, but this would go into rotation. I like this, and it's different enough that it gets you out of the same old thing. Bushmills, Tullamore Dew, they're kind of the same. It's really difficult when someone comes to me and says, which do you prefer? I don't know, depends on my mood. Because to me, they're both very close to each other in taste, and I like them both. This is just different enough to be really, really interesting. I hope that you can find a bottle of this, pick it up and try it. And if you don't like it, you can send it to me. I'll drink it because I do like it. So anyway, that is all I have for you this evening. Again, I apologize for how long it's taken to get this video out. I'm going to try to get back onto the routine of once a week. I'm going to try very hard, but my schedule is definitely changing up a little bit. So all I can do is say I'm going to try. I promised you that we were going to have a pour of Middleton Very Rare 2024. It's sitting right there waiting for us. We are going to have it. I didn't do it tonight because I kind of know how that's going to taste. It's going to be phenomenal. Middleton Very Rare is always phenomenal. The question is, how much different phenomenal is it from the 2023 and the 2022, right? But this has just been sitting right here for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long it's been, and I had to give it a try. So there you go, folks. Happy Cinco de Mayo. That's today, and it's always a good reason, because like I say, any reason to have your Irish whiskey is a great reason. So Cinco de Mayo, let's have some Irish whiskey and celebrate with our Mexican brothers and sisters. Just remember to do it responsibly so you can be here next week when we'll do the Middleton Very Rare, which, by the way, came from Hard to Find Whiskey right there. Check them out. If you're looking for something and you can't find it here stateside, give Hard to Find Whiskey a try, because they've got some wonderful, wonderful offerings. I mean, you're talking Irish whiskey, rye, bourbon, Japanese whiskey. They've got gin, vodka, tequila. So check them out. You won't be sorry. And if you like what I am doing here, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. It takes you just a second. Like down there in one corner, subscribe in the other corner. That would go miles for making me feel good and know that I am doing something that you enjoy. So until we meet again, I want you to be well and be safe, okay? Sláinte. Bye now.